Welcome to everyone joining us right here in our Zoom meditation hall, or wherever you are plugged in, whether on our social media platforms or on our gorgeous app. It's nice to have you with us on this Monday. We're under a minute from starting, and this is my invitation for you to find that comfortable sitting position, to close your eyes, and to begin, as always, this process of deep relaxation. Every meditation starts with a few seconds to follow our out breath into complete surrender, into this impossible letting go, to release, to relax. And then to simply let awareness come to rest, observing the breath. And as we step into our virtual meditation hall, we begin with a chant to bring into our space energies of wholeness, energies of peace. We gently just stay with the breath. And I want to lead us into an inquiry today about what is here and now. You know, in the spiritual world, we talk a lot about being here and being now, and we don't really take the time to explore what that means. So I'd like to see if we can do that for a few minutes today and see where it takes us. what is here and now in our direct experience. I will repeat that probably several times, but what I mean by that is what we directly experience through our senses and not according to the mind. It'll be clear as we practice together. So keep your eyes closed the entire time that we are meditating. And notice right away that our visual input with our eyes closed is, let's say, very limited. There may be some shades of light, but other than that, there are no objects. I can look to the left. I can look to the right with my eyes closed. I can look up or down or in any direction, and there's nothing. But it feels like an absence that is also a fullness. A sense of infinity. Again, don't let the mind come online. Just be with your visual sensations right now. Don't let the mind create a picture or imagine anything whatsoever. Right now, in this direct experience, there is infinity on all sides. There is a vastness. That is unfathomable. But that nothingness, that vastness, is perceived. Even if there are no objects in it, it is still perceived. Something, again, without letting the mind give us answers or make up a story, there is perceiving. There is a perceiver. If not, I couldn't say or report about this nothingness or this infinite vastness. Even that emptiness with no object still is present, is being awared. What awares it is unknown. If I don't let the mind insert a story or imagine any entity that could be doing this awaring, then all I can say of this direct experience is that there is an unseen seer. An unseen perceiver, an unperceived perceiver. Some awaring presence is aware of this vast, infinite nothingness. Again, don't let the mind conjure up a story about a specific separate entity where your direct experience doesn't have any such a thing. The mind tries to create realities out of its interpretation of our direct experience. Now let's move from the visual senses to our auditory senses. Just let any sound, even the sound of the breath, be awared. The sound of this voice. Now, in your direct experience, without letting the mind creating a world with an inside and outside distance, in your direct experience in the here and now, where is this voice arising? Where are any sounds around arising? Don't let the mind create separations when in your direct experience there are none. In your direct experience, in the here and now, where are these sounds? I would venture to say, and just check with yourself, that these sounds arise within you. The mind might create or imagine an outside, a within and without, might create or imagine any kind of scenario. But right now, the sound of this voice, if you just are connecting to your direct experience, is arising within the vastness of that awaring. Keep your eyes closed, of course. But in your direct experience right now, these sounds coming in, arising and passing away, all appear to and within that awaring. They are not arising, cannot be arising outside of that awaring. They do not pre-exist and then are awared. They come out of the silence and they dissolve back into the silence of this awaring. There is no outside. Don't let the mind imagine that outside. Or create a world that in your direct experience right now with your eyes closed doesn't exist. In your direct experience right now, the world as conceived or imagined by the mind doesn't exist. Now let's look at the sensations of the body, the physical sensations. Where are any of these sensations, including the breath and everything else that you sense physically right now? Where is that? Is there, in your direct experience with your eyes closed, a body dangling perhaps underneath you? And if you don't let the mind imagine a foot, a leg, a hand, an arm, a torso, ahead. If you don't let the mind imagine any of that, what are you left with? Just sensations arising in the vast spaciousness of awareness, like little bundles of energy popping here and there. They are disembodied. They are just blips of energy within awareness. Including this breath, the sound of this voice. There is no hand, shoulder or foot or leg or torso. In your direct experience right now, if you don't let the mind imagine any of that, there are no limbs having sensations. They are just sensations. Blips of energy. Some are heavier, more dense than others. Others may appear like little blipping lights. Dense or subtle. These sensations don't belong to anything out there. Only the mind would imagine a hand having these sensations. For example, but in truth, there are no hands. In your direct experience here and now, in your direct experience here and now, as you observe, is there anything outside of the spaciousness of the observer, of the awarer? Is this sensation or that sensation pre-existing outside of the observer that suddenly enters into the sphere of the observing and therefore is perceived? Or, like this voice arising from the nothingness and returning into the nothingness, aren't sensations doing the same thing? aren't any sensation coming to be as they are awared. To say it differently, without awareness, could any sensation, as far as you know, exist at all? Awareness seems to be the only precondition for reality to appear within it. To be here and now means to let go of the imaginings of the mind that create an illusory world that is not validated by our direct experience. It goes so far as to create the illusion that me is this awareness. But this isn't my awareness. In fact, me can only be known because it arises within that awareness. This is not my awareness. Unfortunately, we have to let go of our exploration for now. Keep your eyes closed for a little while longer, as it is often a shock for the visual input to come rushing in, and we lose the sense of presence when the world appears. Keep your eyes closed. And still with your eyes closed, take a couple of deeper breaths and let the body stretch if it needs to. And we'll close with Shalom, dedicating our practice to all beings, that all beings might find the peace and the wholeness that comes with exploring truth. And if you want to continue this exploration beyond our time together, you can just stay with your eyes closed and continue the practice as I will close our connection, and just stay in the silence of your meditation and just see for yourself what is true, what is here. If we don't let the mind tell us what is here. Modeni. Thank you.
Madame. Thank you.
We'll see you tomorrow, if there is such a thing. Take care, everybody.